In this video, I want to show you how to test the gear, what position the gear is in on your Honda Foreman 500. So I have the engine out of the frame right now, but you can do it in the frame. But you want to get this wire right here. There's only two that come out of the engine. This is for the stator, and this is for the gear selection, to know what position you're in. So you go ahead and take your ground lead on your meter, and I just clamped it down with this bolt, but you need to have one lead grounded to the engine. Put your meter in the ohms position and go ahead and test it by touching any other part of the engine that's metal. So now we know it's working. So right now I have the engine in reverse. So reverse is the gray wire. So we find the gray wire and see it goes to this pin, and we touch it, and we got continuity. So we take our thing here to switch the gears manually. Now we should be in neutral. So neutral is the green, the solid green wire. And we have continuity. Let's go to first gear. See, we're in neutral. Whoop. Now we're in gear. Should be first gear. So first gear is the white and green wire. White and green. We got continuity, but not good continuity. It should be let's switch it back and forth. I might have a problem with my sensor. That should be neutral. Okay, it didn't switch gears. That's why I wasn't getting continuity. So maybe I went the wrong way. Okay, there's neutral. There's first gear. So let's check first gear again. It's the white and green. Little better connection, but still the ohms is too high at 101 ohms. It should be much lower than that. Let's try second gear. Oh, there's neutral. There's first gear. There's second gear. Second gear is white and red. Maybe I don't think it went into gear. Sometimes you got to rotate the shaft for it to properly shift. Yeah, I'm getting continuity, but not good continuity. There's 94 ohms. It should be lower than that. It's slowly going down. Now it's 87 ohms. Let's try the next gear. That should be third gear. Third gear is blue wire. Didn't seem to work. Maybe I went the wrong way. Yeah, I went the wrong way. So there's neutral. First, second. I think that's third. Third gear is the blue. Might not have shifted. Unless I got a problem with my switch. Yeah, we're in fourth gear. See, there's good continuity. So I'm pretty sure my switch is faulty. And there's fifth gear, which is fourth is yellow, fifth is the light blue and white. Good continuity. So fifth gear, let's go backwards. Okay, there's fourth gear, should be yellow. Very good continuity, only 2 ohms. Third gear, blue. It didn't work before. Let's try it. Okay, now it's working. 9 ohms. Now we should be in second gear and the white and red. Not good connection. It's counting down, but it was at like 60 ohms. Now it's down to 42. I don't know what the threshold is for what the computer on the four-wheeler is looking for, but the lower the ohms, the better. We got 39. This should be first gear, which is white and green. There's white and green. Not a good connection. It's 131 ohms. It is counting down. Down to 125, and it's still going lower, but it's at 116. Now let's go to neutral. There's neutral. I don't have it written down. It's the green wire, and it's also got high ohms. It's not enough to even make the meter buzz. Let's shift it. Shifted it into first, back into neutral. Now it has a better connection. So my gear selection switch is kind of on its way out. It should have better connection than that. That's how you test it. You go in ohms, you put 1 meter to ground, and the other you find out which gear you're in mechanically, and then you follow the color code, and it should have continuity. And if you don't have continuity, that means your switch has a bad connection. What I was getting on my dash was, instead of it telling me what gear I was in, it was just had a dash there, a blinking dash. Because when I put the engine back together, the switch must have been 180 degrees out, and it wasn't picking up anything. So I got it switched to the right position, but now I'm finding out that the switch is on its way out. So my next thing is to look up to see how much that is. I hope you've got some help from this video, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like. So I've got the sensor out that tells you what gear you're in, and I think I found the problem with the sensor. The sensor can, if you push in on it, this whole shaft moves in and out. If you look close, that little E-clip is bent, so it's allowing movement in the switch to where it doesn't get a good contact all the time. So may have been able to shim a washer behind there or straighten out the E-clip, but went ahead and got a new switch just because it's difficult to replace the switch. But anyways, just to show you how to replace the switch, you pull the rear access cover off, put it in neutral, and if you look right here, you got a slot in the end, right here, and that slot has to line up with that ridge right there, and you can see that they line up. Now the other thing you have to do is to put the switch in is real easy. You take this 10mm bolt out, and then this 10mm bolt holds the wire in place, and that 10mm bolt also. And you simply put the switch in, and then on the end of this switch, you'll see that one pin sticks out farther than the other. So the part that sticks out farther, you point this, and if you look down in the case here, you see a letter N with a notch. So you line up this right there with the notch and the end, and that tells the switch where you're supposed to be in neutral. And then you put the case back on. So it's pretty easy to replace, but it's hard to get the engine out of the frame, and it's kind of a big ordeal, but it can be done. I just want to show you how to replace it and how to line everything up. The long part of the pin goes to that notch where it says N. You have the transmission in neutral to where you can spin the transmission, but the motor doesn't turn. And then line up this slot with that groove right there, that notch. And then you put everything back together, and you should be all set.